Hello guys. So this is another clip about the flame totem build that I already made 3 clips about, I think. And here is the thing, I'm making another video just because I really like the build and I really want to, like, popularize it. Even though, popularizing the build means that the gems and the items will get more expensive and so on, which is, worse for me, but just because, I'm a nice guy, guys. So I'm gonna try to help you out and just like show you how good this build is. I'm currently on standard league because I died at 73 level in a Devourers map, I mean Untainted Paradise map to the Devourers, and it was completely my fault. I was just running ahead of the group, and I was not placing the totems and so on, and it was completely my fault. It's not the build's fault, it was completely my fault, and I was just distracted talking in real life, not focusing on the game. So anyway, I already made a few videos about the build, and if you are subscribed to my YouTube channel and if you watch my videos regularly, you already know quite a lot about the build and how what I changed in it over time and so on. So I'm making the new video because there is new information that I want to put, and it's worth mentioning and making a video about it. So this is why here is another video. Other than that though, I'll really quickly go through the basics of the build for the people who stumble upon this video and haven't watched the previous videos yet. So pretty much this is a flame totem build, meaning that we're using this flame totem gem. Most of my gear is on hardcore league, so sadly I cannot show my example gear from before that, but pretty much the important part is that the build is completely doable with self-found, meaning even without trading. There is a recipe where if you sell a ruby ring, an alteration orb, and a blue scepter or a wand. Here it is real quickly, I'll just show it. If you sell these 3 items together, I guess this doesn't have to be rare, and maybe this doesn't have to be rare. But this it, a blue scepter, yeah, it has to be blue, not rare. So a blue scepter or a wand, alteration orb, and a white ruby ring. I don't know if it's gonna accept a rare one, but you shouldn't do that anyway. You get a scepter with +1 to fire gems, that's all. So you need this weapon at leveling, you 3-link it, and you put flame totem on a red gem, preferably fire penetration here on another red, and as a third one, a green one, faster projectiles. Here is the faster projectiles, here is the fire penetration. So pretty much this is your 3-link, these 3 gems. You can put many other useful gems like faster casting, added whitening, and so on, but this is best for a 3-link, not DPS wise, 2 DPS wise, because the fire penetration, you can replace it with whatever, added coat, added whitening, faster casting, and so on. But the DPS of the build is so good that you don't need that. You don't need higher 2 DPS because you're killing all the white mobs, blue mobs, rare mobs, and bosses anyway. But you want to get fire penetration for the heavy resistant mobs. Also, with time, eventually, again for a cheap upgrade, what you have to trade for, which is worth 1 to 2 chaos tops, even that is gonna be overpriced unless it has some useful stats, is this thing, a scepter or a wand with +2 to fire. Again, not 3-link, same gems, but you just get 1 additional level to the fire totem. And the next update then is stuff like this. You buy a 5-link stuff. I had this stuff as a +2 to fire, however I rewrote it to +1 to all gems because I used it for area effect, shockwave totem, added fire, and empower. And because of the empower, the shockwave totem gets +1 from the stuff itself and +2 from empower gem. So here is why I've been I rewrote my stuff. However, Shockwave Totem sucks as compared to the Flame Totem, and this is why I'm not using Shockwave Totem, even though I wanted to try it because I bought the new Empire Grasp Goliath Gauntlets Unique Wolves with the Reserve Knockback. This is just better, in my opinion. So the only issue with the build was the survivability, which I fixed, and I'll show in a minute how. Let me finish real quick with the item progression. So +1 to fire gem stuff or a scepter, the quartz scepter level 15 with 20 elemental damage implicit is best for leveling. After that, +2 to fire gems scepter like that. This one, it's a crystal scepter level 44. And after that, you get a 5-link stuff, which is worth 3 to 5 chaos. You alterate it for another 3 chaos worth of alterations, you will get +2 to fire. And you regal augment, it doesn't matter what it throws. You add 60 spell damage with Katarina, and you're good to go. And as an endgame weapon, meaning that stuff like this can completely carry you up to 70-something level maps, definitely. But this one, Sarah Shards, in my opinion, is better because it's just you see a lot of coverage, a lot of AoE. It's really good and really eases out the gameplay. And the only thing that I think would be better than this one is a 6-link, not Tsar of Shards, but a 6-link stuff with +3 to fire, meaning +1 to all and +2 to fire, which means that you use the 5-link plus Empower Gem, which will boost the level of the fire totem with not 3 like here, but with 5 additional levels than with this stuff. And therefore, in my opinion, a 6-link rare stuff with +3 to fire gems is gonna be superior compared to this, just because the 2 tip DPS will be so much higher that the AoE coverage won't matter. In the previous videos, I don't know if I mentioned, but the only issue with the build is the survivability, because you're kind of low on HP. Even though my gear is not that amazing, definitely can get better, and you don't have pretty much no armor, so therefore your character is really like squishy and having issues taking the hits. So I'm using Quarry Aura and Herald of Ice again really quickly to go through the build and why I'm using exactly this. I'm using the 3 Dragons Helmet, which makes your fire damage, instead of igniting, to shock. And because of when you ignite, your damage is based on the hit, and because Flame Totem hits really rapidly but with low amount of damage, therefore the ignites are so small that they don't matter. They don't add even 5% of your total damage on top of your damage, so therefore the ignite is completely wasted. However, with the 3 dragons, because you shock everything, what you get is 50% more damage. Whatever is my 2 tip DPS, it has to be multiplied by 1.5. Another really important unique about the build is the Fire Ring, which converts 100% of the cold damage to fire, which makes this added cold damage does fire damage instead of cold. So therefore my totem at the moment does 538 to 800 fire damage. If I remove the fire ring, it does less fire damage and some cold damage, which comes from the Herald of Ice and added cold gem. But with the ring I do more fire damage, and here is why it's important to do more fire damage per hit, to convert the cold damage to fire damage, because the shock duration is based on the hit, on the single hit, not on the 2 tip DPS. Therefore, in order to shock map bosses and so on, you need this fire ring, and you need an amazing GG gear. The next unique that I mentioned already is the Siren Shards, which makes your totem burst in all directions the flames, which is amazing. And the newly added to my build unique is this one, the Immortal Flesh. It gives 100, and how much is this? 130 HP almost. With better rolls, I guess you can go up to 140 maybe. I don't know what are the rolls on the life and mana region, but as is 70 life region and 8.6 mana region is amazing. I'll explain in a second why. The -5 all maximum resistance is a bugger. Obviously, you're capped on 70. You can't get higher to 75. However, in most cases, I'm dying to physical damage, not elemental. Therefore, I feel that even though everyone knows that it's good to boost your cap resistance, not to lower it, this is still a really good trade-off. And here is why. I would never use pre or beta the Immortal Flash because of the minus max. However, because of the way that Eldritch Battery is working now, and it just adds up the ES on top of your mana instead of adding it to the mana, your mana pool is pretty small, just 1400 instead of going 2k, 3k and so on. So therefore my mana regen is really weak. So what I do is take the Eldritch Battery and the Zeal Out, which makes my HP regeneration transfer to the ES regeneration. So therefore this belt here gives me 70 ES regeneration and 8.6 flat mana regen, but because I have a total of about 200 or more increased mana regen from the passive tree and from the gear, I have on this ring 55, on the amulet another 55, let's say 110, actually it's 113. Here I have 20, here I have 15, 15, 15, so that's 45, and 20, 65, and 130 there, 170 something, and here I have another 20, so yeah, 190 something, 200 mana regen. So therefore the 8.6 mana regen from the belt actually turns into 25 mana regen, which is really nice because what we are running is Arctic Armor. My Arctic Armor degens per second 33 mana regen and also negates it, and also 168 extra, so it's 200 mana regen the degen that I have from the Arctic Armor. And when I'm moving I'm slowly degening my mana, and it quickly, rapidly regenerates when I stop moving. So what I get in exchange is minus 120 fire damage per hit. So this means that I'm almost immune to the fire docks from the docks, and minus 120 flat physical reduction, which stacks up with the 47 from the belt, which is amazing. You total get of minus 170 per hit, which negates a lot of the hits. Maybe I should do a real quick demonstration. I'm removing the belt and I'm going to Merciless City of Sarn, because here are a lot of small mobs, just to show you up. Of course, yes, the higher the hits are, the worse it gets for the Arctic Armor and the Immortal Flesh, that's obvious. But here it is, you see how fast I'm dying. And now when I take the Arctic Armor, you know, by now I would have run out of HP, and you see how much slower it is. I don't need to use spots yet. Anyway, so this is pretty much for the Arctic Armor, and here is actually the shooting in all directions totem. So pretty much the survivability now is much better. A gear check that I did, a build check that I did, was the Purgeois map. In the Purgeois map I was able to clear it, and while in the live servers the Purgeois is 71 level map, here it's 73. So adding 150% damage and 150% life on the on a 73 level map is really quite something. So it's really happy when the build was actually able to clear the map. And the last unique that is worth obviously mentioning is the Cloak of Defiance, which does some parties that you don't need to 5-link it. So you get Cloak of Defiance, which have 100 additional 46 mana regen, so I'm over 200. I'm 230-40 mana regen total. Gives you also 140 ES and 90 mana. So this stacks up for a lot of survivability, because as we know, it transfers 30% of my HP to my mana and ES now with the new Eldritch Battery. So what I prepared is this map, a 77 level Abyss map. I have no idea actually what's the Abyss map. I haven't entered it yet. Just to show you up, I haven't done a 77 map yet with this character. The highest I've done was 75. Oh no, actually I did 177 with a friend of mine who is also Flame Totem, but his 2-tip DPS, wow, mine is just 7.4k. His 2-tip DPS is at 15k, but he has really good gear. He has amulet with crit chance, crit multiplier, and just overall his gear is much better than mine, and maybe he takes less HP than me, and therefore his survivability is smaller than mine, but he has higher DPS. But because we are on softcore, you know, he's just doing whatever he wants, while I'm trying to, you know, to optimize the build to be viable and completely doable on hardcore, and not just, you know, focus on high DPS. So here it is, I'm putting on my Arctic armor, and I just start clearing the map. Putting the two totems, cursing. Again, this is a 77 level map. Wow, this guy really takes a while, doesn't he? Is my penetration here? Yes, he is. I'm actually surprised that it's that slow, seriously. These are all resistant elemental mobs, I see, but still. Oh, this one's died fast. Usually I don't have the time to curse. A blue pack with resist element again. No idea. I feel like one monster left there, but anyway. So I'm self-casting the Endurance Cry. Don't forget that this is a vulnerability map, so therefore the monsters hit me harder with physical damage. You can see the AoE coverage is insane. In my opinion, it's much better than Shockwave Totem. And actually the friend that I'm talking about that is using Flame Totem as well, in the beta he is using Knockback Gem with gloves. So what happens is he's pulling instantly all the monsters on top of the totem, because he shoots really rapidly. I mean the casts per second are 8.1, and with the knockback gem, which gives 50% chance to knockback, you're pulling the monsters, how much is it? 4 times a second. 4 times a second he's pulling the monsters towards him. Okay, the boss is died, he's died. Okay, the clear speed, I have to say from my perspective, is not that amazing. I mean, the spiders die pretty fast, but these big guys do not, which I would say that is kinda okay. The total gear of the character, I would value it around 10 exalts in hardcore temp league. Mainly because of the 5-link stuff, I would expect it to be worth 3 to 4 exalts. The Cock of Defiance non-linked is like 2, so that's a total of 6. And the rest of the gear, it's definitely, my current gear is definitely worth less than 2 exalts, most probably like 1. And I'm not saying that there is no other build that can do 77 level maps with this amount of gear, but I would say that there are really not that many the builds that can do 77 level map with this speed. I'm not saying that it's that fast, I'm not saying that I'm impressed personally, but I think it's just fine, and a lot of builds require like 20 exalts in gear in order to be able to do 77 level maps. In 70 up to I've been doing up to 73s and a few 75s. The clear speed obviously is much better. I feel like the clear speed here is just like in poor choice, which means that I'm you know, a poor choice with 150. What the fuck? I didn't see the resurrect. The clear speed, not the clear speed, the monsters of the poor choice are pretty much like equal in a 73, poor choices are pretty much equal like in 77 map in the beta. Oh, these are corrupted. I'm wondering why are my totems dying. So as you can see, I am taking damage when I get hit, but it's really not that bad. Now the maximum level map, I think it's pushed up to 80 something, but so this is not max content. You can get 5 levels above, so I would expect it to get much worse and much harder in a higher level maps. However, again, I'm taking a lot of defense nodes, mainly max mana and max, not max, mana region nodes, just because my gear is not really that good, and especially in my amulet I can get a lot more crit chance and crit multiplier and so on. Also, if I'm 90 level, because I already took all the defensive nodes that I wanted to take in order to boost the survivability of the character, to feel comfortable doing higher level maps content, and not being afraid to die, even though I'm on softcore, you know, I'm just trying to optimize the build for hardcore. So anyway, so my point is that the next levels are pure DPS, and therefore I would expect the build at 90 level, now it's 83, and you know, at 83 doing 77 level maps is a lot of experience, no penalty whatsoever. So my point is that I would expect by the time I get to 80 to 90 level, which then you need to run, you know, 90 plus level, then you need to run 80 plus level maps. I would say that my DPS will escalate rapidly, because at the moment this is with 7.5k DPS, and with plus my staff, plus 2 to staff, I'm doing 13k. While my friend that I talk about is with this amount of DPS as me, with even higher, he has higher DPS with shards than I had with plus 2 to fire gems map, remaining, with plus 2 to fire gem stuff, just because the rest of his gear is like really good. Well, you know, I won't waste your time trying to find the rest, the wasp mobs. Okay, I think here they are. Stuff worth mentioning most probably are that I removed the jewel with the additional projectiles, just because I wanted to try how the character performs without it. I took the Whispering Doom, the dual curse, so when I get damage, receive damage and casting with temp chains, with enfeeble and immortal call, which slows a lot the monsters. I took the mana region here, I took the mana here, I took the mana here, and now, you know, the mana region is enough to be able to sustain up to 17 current level Arctic armor, and also just to have high mana pool, because obviously the Cloak of Defiance requires you to have some good mana region and mana pool in order to have something that, you know, is gonna be taken when you get hit. You're losing all your HP regeneration though, which makes you constantly spam flasks, but you know, whenever we get hit, even with HP regeneration, we still do use mana HP pot constantly, always, just to make sure that, you know, we are on 100% HP, so we can get one-shotted. So I would say that that's really not a big drawback. You saw with the reduced elemental resistance, the monster do damage to me, but it's really not that devastating. And I would say that, you know, running running ES region and mana region is really nice for reflect maps, where you have to recast your totems like 100 times. For instance, here it is, I'm recasting 2 totems, cursing, and I lost half my ES, but because of the Immortal Flesh I regen my ES rapidly. However, if I have to spam my totems again, eventually I'll get up to the mana, but the mana region is like quite good. Let me remove yeah. If I get only on mana, I'm almost able to sustain the cast, but here it is, this is without the auras. With the auras, obviously, I'll be able to completely sustain my cast. Yeah, curses as well. So anyway, let me run this tempo map. I just want to show really quickly on 73 level map content what's the clear speed, and you know, maybe there are still optimizations to be done to the build. I just haven't found them yet, but currently I'm so happy with the character that I feel like I'll go with the same build after beta wipe, just to be able to farm up currency quickly, and after that be able to maybe try the new melee skill. Oh, I can go on the other side. I do have Leap Swamp, don't I? Yeah, I do have Leap Swamp. And this has to be here. Okay, so I was saying, oh, I forgot to cast my thingy, didn't I? You can see my clear speed on 73 level map. This is what's the clear speed that I'm used to stuff for the stuff to die fast. I was on 9k DPS, and because of the sacrifice of 6-7 nodes to, you know, to be able to pull out all the mana regen stuff that I need in order to make proper use of the Cloak of Defiance, I had to sacrifice quite a lot of DPS. However, this thing is completely fixable with better jewelry, with a good amulet, and so on. I want to really quickly find Piety just to show that even with the reduced resistances, she's really not a problem, just because you pretty much off-screen her. Here it is. I'm casting my 2 totems, I'm cursing her, and that's it. I'm just waiting for her to attack. You know what? You know, fuck around, go close to her, recast my totems, and again, move around. Again, I'm like really fucking around. I don't need to go around her, and you saw how quickly she dies. You just like put your 2 totems here on the corner, curse, and go back and watch on the top left screen if your totems are still alive. As soon as they die, you recast them, you go away, and she's like maximum 10 seconds she takes, and it's like 100% safe. I even you know, with this character I'm able to do bosses like Jungle Valley. Jungle Valley boss, the spider, he is usually really annoying, but when you have good AoE coverage, you kill the monster so fast, and you just move around so he cannot target you, snipe you, and so on. The rest of my gear, this is okay resistance gloves. Actually, I'm not even capped. I'm super over capped on whitening with 60 additional. I'm a little bit under capped on coat, and a little bit over capped on fire. And you know, I didn't care much, just because first is cost resistance, secondly on softcore, and thirdly the wipe is coming soon. This ring is okay. It's with 40ish elemental resistance, 40 HP from Eurion, and mana in mana region, good throws. The amulet though can be much better, and the boots can be much better. There's still 1 resistance, just 50 HP, with the strength it's 60 and 25 movement speed. So my point is that with proper amulet, proper boots, higher HP but lower resistance, cloths, but maybe I can even completely remove the whitening resistance from them, and it's gonna be still fine. So it can be with much lower resistance, because the rolls are really not that bad. Double 40 max bracket, 41 plus with added code. So anyway, my point is that the build has a lot of potential to go stronger, especially with the 6-link stuff, especially with corrupted flame totem gem to 21st level, especially with quality to the gems, especially with plus 3 to fire stuff instead of the pyro shards. I'm sure that it's gonna be completely viable on a higher level map content, and you saw that the survivability is really not a problem after the optimizations, and especially in the beta where the shotgun effect is being removed. It's really a big deal. So guys, this is it about the build. I think that I won't make anytime soon another video about it. Maybe in after the wipe, I'll if I optimize something else and it gets much better, then then I'll be able to, I'll have a reason to make another video. But so far I think I'm really happy with the build. I think I won't need to make any changes to it. And actually another thing worth mentioning is that I'm not dual cursing. I'm cursing only with crit weakness, Assassin's Mark. But if I want to, I can add another either flame ability, either really weakness or whatever. I can add another curse just to boost my DPS higher. I just haven't had the need to so far, but again, I'm not running 77 level maps every day just because my map drops were like terrible. The map that I ran earlier was just a gift from a friend. Okay, guys, see you around.